Hi, I'm Sharaad Kuttan. Welcome to Let's Talk, the show that brings you the most important conversations of the day, and what could be more important than being well or feeling well, wellness, not just for ourselves personally, but also for the planet. Now, I have with me the people behind an upcoming festival. It's called the Ahimsa Life Festival. It runs in February from the 21st to 23rd. And it promises to bring together a range of activities and personalities linked to the question of wellness. Now, thank you so much, both of you, Dominic and Zena Choo, for being at the show with me today. Let's begin with why. Why do something? In this case, why a festival of wellness? I'm going to ask you for starters, Dominic.
Well, thanks for having us on your show, Sharaad. The question why?
The big question.
Big question, and actually comes from experience. When we went through our journeys through health problems, for me it was a mental health issue, there came a point in time when I was looking for an alternative to medication. And really I couldn't find some place where I could access and actually explore. So we decided, okay, if there isn't something out there, let's try and get everyone together, practitioners, styles, products, where people could come to one place and actually try stuff for themselves. Go beyond just having an intellectual understanding of stuff being out there, but actually sit down, try, experience, and make a decision for themselves. Does it work? Does it not work? Is this for me? Is this not for me?
Right, so it's kind of the festival is an opportunity to experiment, to sample, and look at things. You had a personal journey, Zena, you had a personal journey too that brought you to this point. I mean, you're from television. I forgot to mention that Dominic, you're from the legal profession. You're actually a lawyer who's now a meditation teacher. I'm going to get that shortly. But Zena, again, for you, why a festival? Why wasn't it necessary to pull it together as a festival?
The festival was something that the bunch of us met while we were doing meditation. I would say that meditation brought us all together. And for me personally, I started meditation because I was going through a point in my life. It was a few years of a very bad divorce, a major health issue where I would say that it was life-threatening. I was I was in and out of hospital, and I thought, what else is there for me to do but unless I go full on and medicate. So what I decided was I started looking at alternatives for food, and I went on a 1-year juicing diet, vegan juicing diet, and that changed. I mean, when I went to see my doctor, he went, "Wow, these medicines you're on must be miraculous because you are healing so well." And I kept quiet, and within that year, I decided to change my whole lifestyle, and I said, aside from that, how can I what caused my disease? And it was stress. So going through the stress, having teenagers, I said, yeah, the one thing that worked for me was meditation. It helped me calm me down. I'm generally a very hyper person. I'm ADHD. My brain goes boom, boom, boom in 25 places at one time. And when I meditate, it brings me back here. And I connected with Dom then. We are old friends from way back then, but we only got together from this, and there's the 5 of us now. Okay,
so the 5 includes Zarina Perry, Kam Su En, and Lai Mei Sen. Is that these are the other partners in crime? And it's very interesting and very brave of you both to be willing to share this, because a lot of people don't like to share their problems. They don't like to talk about their journeys, especially the ones that begin from a troubled place. I mean, maybe we could just look a little bit about what you, Dominic, have decided on. I mean, in terms of your own life. I mean, you give out a legal profession that most people in middle class Malaysia would say is the bee's knees of professions. And now, you teach meditation. That's a major commitment, isn't it, to a very different approach to living?
It's a big jump, very big jump. And there came a point in my life, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, when I was still a partner in my own firm, where the stress drove me to a point where I was clinically depressed. I was just depressed. Life wasn't fun. And it took one suicidal thought for me to tell myself, there must be something more to life than just this. It can't be that I'm suffering. The pain of that status quo far exceeded the pleasure. And
the pleasure would be the material pleasure.
The material pleasure. Income was good. I couldn't say that I wasn't enjoying my work. The work was good. But there was something inside me which wasn't right. I wasn't happy. And I needed to make a choice. I needed to unwind a few things. And in that journey of discovery, I sort of realized that I was a slave to my mind rather than a master of it. And my mind was always playing tricks on me. I can be physically present here talking to you, Sharaad, but my mind, in this exact moment in time, was flitting between past and future, characterized as worries about the future and regrets about the past. Right. And at that point in time, I said, look, maybe I don't need medication. Maybe that antidepressant wasn't for me. So what was it? Meditation literally saved my life.
Right. It's very interesting because in our short conversation already, there's a connection between our physical bodies, our mental states, our emotional, and perhaps, and I don't know if this is also part of it, the whole idea of the spiritual. Something that I'm not particularly in tune with, but I understand when you define wellness, and I want, Zena, if you could help me define it, what exactly are the components of wellness that are now reflected in this festival that you're doing?
The components of wellness.
Yes, yeah. What are the things that all these little things are bringing together?
Well, okay. So for us, this festival will have the body, the mind, and the soul. There's some people, not everything that works for me will work for you. In the last 1 year, we have tried so many different modalities, so to speak, from feng shui to tarot card reading to crystals. In fact, my partner said to me, if you come back with a crystal, I think it's time for us to do something about it. So it's a lot of people say it's a lot of juju, but whatever comfort gives you comfort, whatever brings you peace and happiness, it might work for you. Something will work for you, will not work for you.
Yeah, tell us about, your sense of what is wellness then.
Yeah, well, let me start from the festival and what we've called the festival. It's Ahimsa Life Festival, and Ahimsa is actually a Sanskrit word for non-violence. And that is encapsulated in the practice of love and respect for everybody and everything. Okay, so starting point for all of this is ourselves. Now, if we can't even care for ourselves, then how can we care for anyone else or anything else? And if we talk about care for ourselves, there are various spheres: a physical sphere, a mental sphere, and an emotional sphere. Now, we all want one thing, and that is peace, and that is happiness, and that is joy and love. And there are many roads to get there. So from a festival perspective, what we are trying to do is to actually provide alternatives to everyone out there in the wellness ecosphere in Malaysia. When I went on my journey, for example, I knew the medical side pretty well. I knew which psychologists to see, I knew which psychiatrists to see, but I didn't know whether there was anything out there which would work for me. And that was my problem, access. So for the festival, what we want to do is to bring together a host of practitioners to create workshops and sessions and mini sessions where people can come in and try, experiment. No longer intellectualize it. Come in, cast that aside, and have an experience. Because only with an experience will you know if it works for you. Everyone is different.
Right, wonderful. And we'll take a short break at that point. We'll come back with more on how this festival has been curated, the components, the stars are going to be there. Stay tuned to more to Let's Talk.